trying this again. My last attempt failed. So I'm joining you guys on this beautiful Saturday morning to talk about next week, which is going to be all about attitude. So those of you that are brand new to the group, this is Transformational Living. We are all about body, mind, and spirit, and combining all of those together to bring you a life of transformation. And really, what does that mean? That means that we're constantly in pursuit of our best self in all areas. We're constantly moving and evolving and shifting as things ebb and flow, and as life happens. We're constantly course correcting and staying plugged in to this supportive community that helps us move forward, get unstuck, and move in the direction that we wish to go. So like I said, we're all about the body, mind, and spirit, which means, nourishing the body on a nutritional standpoint. It means moving the body, exercise, whatever that looks like for you. It means mindset, habits, looking at how we're operating, looking at our operating system and what changes need to be made in order for us to move forward. And hey, Carol, what's up, lady? And then, of course, spirit, which is all about who you are, the essence of who you are and how you show up, and the energy that you bring, and all of those intangible things that people can't physically touch and see with their eyes, but they can feel. That is your spirit. And so we bring all of those things together, incorporating meditation and just all good things to help you move forward and have transformational wellness, really. So that's what our community is about. For those of you who are new, we just launched a new program, Body, Mind, and Spirit Lifestyle Program, that kicked off last week. Last week was our prep week, and actually this week, we're coming to an end. I'm confused about what day it is. It's Saturday. So this week is prep week, which ends tomorrow. And it's been focused on getting you prepared, getting everything ready, getting the right foods in your house, preparing yourself for success, and being ready with snacks and your Isagenix products, and having everything ready to go so that in your busy life, in your day-to-day hustle with the kids and work and all of the things that we all do, we are prepared and we have what we need to nourish our body. Getting set up on the IsaBody Challenge. We have a whole guide in this group under the files section. There's a guide that I created called Getting Started Body, and that's because we're in the body phase of our 12-week program. And that file lists all of the things that you need to get going to be prepared for this program for the next 12 weeks. So if you're joining us late, if you're hopping in and you're watching this video a few weeks, from now, which is, the end of September, if you are, if this video is really old and you're just hopping in here, you can always go back and refer to that Getting Started Body file, and that can help you get prepared and get started. So yes, getting prepared and ready is so important, because without preparation, without being prepared, we're setting ourselves up to fail. And failure in the sense of not meeting the goals that we set out to meet because we didn't plan efficiently, and we didn't stop and be present and be mindful about what our day looks like and how we need to set things up in order to have a successful, positive day. So Chris is looking at me through the window, making me laugh. So this week coming to an end, prep week. If you're behind a little bit, no worries. Just go in that file and get yourself set up. Reach out to one of us. We can help guide you. Okay? If you don't know who your coach is or you don't have support, please just reach out. One of us will help. So next week, we're moving into the theme of attitude. So attitude is so important, right? It's one of the few things in life that we have control over, is how we show up, our energy, our mood, what we bring to the table when we interact with people. My air conditioner just kicked on. What we bring to the table, the energy that we bring, the mood that we bring, the mindset that we're in. And so I'm just going to go over a few different things to think about as we head into this next week, the second week of the body phase. And one of the things I wanted to share was just, looking at success. If you look at the word success and you think about what success means to you, for everybody, they may have a slightly different description of what it means, right? It doesn't just mean having all the things, all the material things and the money and all of that. While that is success in some way, success is also being in alignment with who you are and living your purpose, and having your attitude and your mindset match your actions that you're putting out every single day, right? So what they find in studies, and actually Stanford did a study on this, is that the number one thing that has led to people who have been successful in the pursuit of whatever they're trying to accomplish is not their IQ. It's not how smart they are. It's not their skill level or their name anything that we think is connected to success. And what it came down to is it has everything to do with their attitude. It has everything to do with being in what's called a growth mindset. So the question I posed to you guys in the title of this is, what mindset are you operating in? Are you in a fixed mindset or are you in a growth mindset? So I'm going to go through a couple of things that explain the difference between the two. So a fixed mindset is somebody who, and I've been in this place before, where you're a victim to your circumstances. Everything is happening to you. People are doing things to you. You're blaming others. You're in your own way, really. You're in your own way, and you're blocking your own growth by being in this mindset of, poor me, I'm a victim, I don't know how to do this, I've always done it this way, this is hard, change is hard, and really just creating this repetitive story and this belief that you are stuck where you are. And that's really a fixed mindset, is when someone believes subconsciously, they may not say this, and they may not consciously believe this, but subconsciously in their wiring, they are stuck. They believe that they can't change, that it's too hard to change, that this is how they've always done it. This is what they learned. This is how their parents did it. This is just the way they are, right? You'll hear people say that, well, I'm just big boned, so I can't lose weight. Or I just culturally, I grew up eating these foods, and so this is just how I have to eat. And while I respect culture, and I come from a family where my grandmother loved Mexican food and certain types of food, that some of it not serving me for my goals, but it's comfort and it reminds me of family and it's love and all of these things. And we have to remember that we need to separate those things sometimes and understand that in a lot of cultures and in a lot of families, food is a way of expressing love. And while that's beautiful, it also may not be 100% in alignment with your goals that you've set for yourself. So we have to be able to separate those two things and identify the story that we have attached to these beliefs. Because a belief is really just a thought that we keep thinking. It doesn't make it factual, right? So looking at that and not having that fixed mindset on, this is how it has to be, even though it's not serving me, this is how it has to be, and having a growth mindset. So a growth mindset is someone who they own their life. They take responsibility for what's going on in their life, for where they are, how they got here, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what's happened to them or who's hurt them or the stories. They take ownership and responsibility for their life now and for where they're moving towards and the direction that they're going, the life that they're creating. They understand that they have the ability to change, to shift, to grow. And it's all a matter of the way that these people think. When you have a growth mindset, you are open to growth. You are open to identifying, this is where I am and I'm not happy here, and this is where I want to be, and I have the power within me to change. And I have the power within me to go from here, to bridge that gap and move in the direction of where I want to be. It's not easy, but it's possible. And with a community like this, it's even more possible because you have the support, you have the encouragement. We're all doing this together. We all have challenges. We all have things come up. So think about that and ask yourself, do you have a fixed mindset? Are you in your own way? Are you bought into the story of, I can't do this, it's hard, this is how it's always been, I could never lose weight, diets don't work for me, or nutrition doesn't work for me, or shakes don't work for me, or I don't like going to the gym, it hurts when I go to the gym. These types of stories are keeping you exactly where you are, and they're keeping you in that fixed place. Or are you somebody who has a growth mindset that sees the possibility, that knows that it's hard, knows that it's challenging, but you can see that there's a way. You can see that there's an ability to shift and that you're not stuck where you are unless you believe that you are, okay? So it's really all about how we look at failure, right? A growth mindset person looks at failure as an opportunity. They look at failure as, awesome, that's one more try that I have towards success, right? So the more times you fail forward and you move forward, the closer you are to ultimately achieving whatever it is that you set out. When you look at failure as the end, when you look at failure as, well, I failed, this didn't work, so I'm done. that is a fixed mindset. And that's, again, going to keep you in the same place over and over again. So obviously you can see we want to have a growth mindset. We want to be open to receiving new information. We want to be open-minded. We want to be open to learning. We want to understand that everybody has challenges, and challenges are not, they're not just specific to you. They're not just you're being dealt these cards and it sucks and why me and why is this happening to me? All of us are getting challenges. Every single one of us. There's not a human on this planet that does not have challenge. It's all about how we react, how we respond. And are we going into a downward spiral saying, I'm a victim, poor me, this happened to me? Or are we looking at the challenge or the failure, you might think of it as, and throwing in the towel and saying, well, this is just another thing that didn't work for me? And understanding that everything that's worth working towards, everything that's going to lead you to greatness takes work, and it takes patience, and it takes consistency. Okay, so attitude, this is so important. So some of the habits that I want you guys to think about for people that have a growth mindset or have a positive attitude, positive outlook on life, is they're always going beyond. So they're not comparing themselves, they're not trying to be like someone else, but they're always going beyond what they consciously believe they can do. So if you believe right now that you're stuck where you are, and it's very hard to start something new, and it's hard to make new habits, and it's hard to change, you know that consciously, but you push through that to the other side to be able to say, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work really hard to break through that. That's what people with a growth mindset will do. They'll say, I know that this has been my cap, right? I've always just stopped here. I'm gonna push beyond that, and I'm not gonna compare myself to anyone else. I'm just gonna push beyond my best, my previous best. So they're always looking to accomplish the next level of them, not anyone else, but of them, and push beyond where they've gone before to break through and to have those breakthroughs and become the new person and with the new mindset. Okay. The second thing that they do is they never complain. Okay. So they don't take these obstacles and these challenges as an opportunity to sit there and complain and tell everybody how much it sucks and tell everybody how this happened to them and all of that, right? They're not in the story of what's happening. They are in the creation of where they're going, right? So they're looking at a challenge or an obstacle or something that presents itself as a negative experience, and they're looking at it as contrast. They're looking at it as, okay, this sucks, right? And this is a bad experience, but this is creating a lesson for me. This is creating contrast for me to see where I want to go. If I don't want to be here, if this doesn't feel good, and I don't want to have these kinds of challenges coming at me this way, then I need to look at this a little bit differently through a different lens. And so they're always using challenges and obstacles as a means of contrast and a lesson. They're using it as a lesson to learn, to grow from. They're not allowing it to keep them in that rut, in that victim story of complaining, talking about it, and really what you focus on, you find. So the more you talk about what's not working for you, the more you're going to find that to be your experience. The more you talk about the things that suck in life and the things that aren't working and where you don't want to be, the more you're going to attract all of those things too. They become even bigger and they become more of your focus. The third thing that people with a growth mindset do is they flow like water. I love this one because imagine water flowing in a river, right? It just flows. It goes around obstacles. It hits up against the rocks. It hits up against the branches and the whatever's in its path. And it just has a beautiful way of flowing, right? And so basically what this article said that I read that talked all about this growth mindset was that people with a growth mindset embrace uncertainty. They embrace the unknown. They embrace the fact that they're here and they don't know what's coming, but they're ready for it and they're open to it and they're open to receiving whatever it is, and they're going to take it with a positive attitude and they're going to move forward, and they're not going to let any obstacle or any rock or anything in their path throw them off course. They're just going to flow around it like water, and they're going to look at it as a gift, okay? They're moving forward. The fourth thing is they expect results. So they're outcome focused, okay? So this is another huge one, is that people with a growth mindset are outcome focused. They are focused on what is their ultimate outcome. What do they want to accomplish in this? And visualizing the outcome, even if it's however far down the road, they're visualizing the outcome they want. They're not focused on how hard it is, or how hard it's gonna be, or when it's gonna happen, or how it's gonna happen, or all the little minute details of it. They're not concerning themselves with that. They are concerning themselves with the vision, the outcome that they want, and that's what they're keeping their eyes on. And like I said, whatever comes in their path, they're flowing around it like water because they are so focused on the outcome that they choose. And when they're focused on the outcome, they're way more likely to accomplish that or to move towards that than if they were focused on all the challenges that were coming their way. It's going to keep them, it's going to hold them back, right? And it's going to keep throwing them off course every single time they allow an obstacle to affect them, right? Lastly, they take consistent action, okay? So it's really, really important to be in action. It's really, really important to have consistency in being in action, but even more important than the action is what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about our ability and what we tell ourselves repetitively. So if you're saying to yourself, I'm going to do this work, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat the right foods, I'm going to do, but my belief that's running in my mind is this is hard, I can't do it, I've never been successful, I'm big boned, I've always been heavy, I've never been athletic, I've always struggled with this is just the same. If that's the story that's going on in your mind, you look in the mirror and all you see is I'm fat, or all you see is my clothes don't fit, or all you see is I wish I looked like this, or why do I have this extra whatever. Like, we all do it, right? We look in the mirror and we pick apart ourselves. If that's what your mantra is, but you're in action, you're spinning your wheels. You're in massive action spinning your wheels, because until your mindset, your belief is in alignment with your actions, you're gonna stay stuck. So it's so important, and there's this quote that I love, and I'm gonna finish with this because my phone is telling me like it's getting too hot sitting out here in Arizona, is that when your faith matches your work, quote unquote action, when your faith, your belief matches the effort that you're putting out, the action that you're doing, when those two things are in alignment and they match, miracles happen. And you guys, it's absolutely true. When you believe, when you use the power of your mind to believe in what you wish to create, to believe in your ability, to believe that what you want and what you're pulling into you and you're attracting to you is on its way to you, until you believe that, you can act, effort all day long, and you're gonna stay stuck. So it's so important for us to have that mental game, that positive attitude, and working on our mindset, which is why the Healthy Mind and Body, you guys, is such a great program. We're going to implement it in phase 2. After this 4 weeks of body, we're going to really hone in on the mindset. But if you're somebody who knows that you need that right now, get yourself signed up for the Healthy Mind and Body. If you have an Isagenix account, you can sign up right in your account. It's $39.95, and you get a $45 coupon at the end for completing it. So you get paid to do it. It's a daily program, 60 days. Every single day you have assignments that you do. It takes you 15, 20 minutes, and it's all about habits, mindset, gratitude, appreciation, belief, pouring belief into yourself and recognizing yourself for the things that you are doing well, so that you can continue to shine the light on those things and continue to see your progress and continue to celebrate where you're going and not be focused on what's not working. Okay, so if you're somebody who needs that and you need help, let us know. We'll direct you to how to do it. It's a 60-day self-run program. You log in, it's a module, you log into your account, and it guides you through. And it's an incredible program that, like I said, we're going to be implementing it in a few weeks for the whole group. But for right now, if it's something that you know you need because you're really struggling with your mindset and your attitude and how you're showing up, do it and get it started early, get ahead of the game, and start making those changes, okay? So I'm going to sign off. This is way longer than I planned. Thank you all for joining me, whoever was on. I'll go back and look through the comments. I think my phone's going to shut off any second now. So welcome to those of you who are new. We're so grateful to have you in the group. This community is honestly open to anybody. If there's anybody that you know in your life that could benefit from this information, please add them to the group and allow them to join in and be a part of what we're doing. So you guys have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.